Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty, and today I'm just east of Caton Bridge, West Virginia, and we're checking out 41 acres that has frontage right here on Route 50 and Smoky Hollow Road and some other roads. It's got frontage on like 4 different roads, 2 state roads, and we're only about 15 to 20 minutes west of Winchester, Virginia, so the location here is pretty phenomenal. Before we start poking around here in the buildings, let me kind of show you what we're working with here. So this property's in 2 tracts. You can see the barns here. This is Route 50. This is Smoky Hollow Road. Both these tracts are being sold together in total just shy of 41 acres. But this tract here that fronts on Route 50 and here on Smoky Hollow is completely unrestricted. So no restrictions whatsoever on this tract. You want to have a business here, I mean, this would be a great location for a farmer's market. I mean, just about any kind of business practice here would be practical for that. But then the back tract here is part of a subdivision called Overlook Ridge. So this tract here has restrictions on it, and all that stuff will be on my website. But you got about 8 acres in this field and 8 acres in this field, so you got about 16 acres of pasture. There's fencing, cattle waters. You know, the owners had cattle here before, made hay off of this. And then you got plenty of woods to hunt. You'll see there's a road going back right here. This is called Well Bottom Trail. And Well Bottom Trail is the boundary for this tract. Cuts through this tract and goes back to the neighbor back here. And then this is called Bear Garden Trail at the top. So that's how you can get to the top of this tract here. So you got road, Route 50, Smoky Hollow Road. The building here is 60 by 40 board and batten barn pole building with a 10-foot lean-to off of each side. It's a very nice building. There's a hookup here. There's well and septic here. The well gets like 45 gallons a minute. It's a great well. And like I said, I believe you'll see a little cap right out there to plug a camper into the septic, and you got a hydrant right there. So, and then I believe there's a plug-in right there as well. We'll just walk around here. And you got a big machine shed back here in the back. We'll go inside the building here in a minute. But you got the nice lean-to here off either side. I'll show you the machine shed. You can drive, and I'll drive my truck out into the fields here, and we'll do video over there as well. The owner enjoyed farming here and stuff. You'll see there's hay baler, hay rake, a tedder and stuff sitting there. Stacks of fence posts. None of the equipment conveys. It's just the land and the buildings. So nice lean-to here, machine shed. And there's electric. The conduit and stuff's run out here. To have electric out here, it's just not pulled. Show you around the back side of this. There's a lean-to off this side as well. He's got some equipment under there. You got to see a brush hog there for a front of a skid steer. You also see the electric. There's wire strung out here. It's not hooked up, and you got a hydrant out here. So, even got a little shooting range right here. They got some targets shooting in the wood pile right there. Sea container. I assume the sea container stays here. We'll figure that out when the time comes. Not sure what the deal is with the water tanks, and there's a little solar panel sitting on top of the sea container. I haven't asked the owner what the deal was with that yet. But there's a hay spear there and stuff for a skid steer and some other skid steer attachments. But like I said, here's where, you know, I'll drive out into the field here. And we'll get into all that here shortly when I get out into the fields there. But isn't this pretty? And you'll see this building I mean, if you replicated this building today, poured the floor in it, did everything he's done, and here's a $100,000 building. It's got living quarters above, and it's got a bathroom and stuff in it. So it's pretty neat. Here's the septic right here. Let's go inside the building here and look around. Pretty neat setup. You can't miss this place. It's right along Route 50. If you're coming from Winchester, right before you start up the hill into Capon Bridge, it's on your right. You can't miss it. Wells over here. Let's go inside here. Beautiful day. Barn's in good shape. I think this was built, this barn was built in the late 2000s. I want to say maybe somewhere between 2008 and 2010 if I had to guess. So you can see, you come in the shop here, poured floor, nice big New Holland tractor in here. We'll just kind of take you in here so when you come in, you got a bathroom and stuff here, toilet, shower. Looks like he has some kind of little gas propane hot water heater runs off that propane tank. Gun safe. And then over here, you kind of got like a shop area, you know, with your tool bench and all that good stuff. And living quarters is up there. And then this is kind of like a storage room area up here. So when you really figure in the floor space, I mean, the floor space of the barn is 2,400 square foot. It's 40 by 60. And then when you add these two wings here, that's probably another 400 square foot anyway. So you got about 3,000 square foot of floor space in the building here almost. Lots of toys in here. We'll go up there and check out the little bedroom here in a minute. But as you can see, this guy has a lot of stuff. And this barn holds all of it. He's got a lot of toys, need a workshop, got old cars, anything like that. This is what you need. And it's a pass-through building. I mean, these doors here are on latches and rollers, you know, and plenty high ceilings here. I mean, I imagine the doors are probably 12-foot doors. What it looks like to me. Got some shelving built over here. I'll walk you up and show you like the parts room up here. You know, it just looks like we're keeping oil and filters and that sort of thing. It's a good vantage point to see everything here. Take you up and show you the bedroom up here. Nice little suite up here. Got a window unit AC up here, and looks like maybe like a little plug-in heater. Even got TV. Pretty neat. So what we'll do next, I'll start taking you around the property. This place is really unique. I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. You know, with the buildings, the well, septic, electric, there's probably, you know, conservatively $150,000 worth of improvements here between the buildings and the infrastructure that's in place. Maybe more than that when you figure in the fencing and all that kind of stuff. So when you see the price tag on this, which is $450,000, you're sitting there thinking, oh man, that's over $10,000 an acre. You know, it's not. You got to back out. You got to back out the improvements. You know, and when you do that and do the math, the ground's at, you know, maybe $7,500 an acre. Something like that, which for versatile land with a stream going through it, we'll talk about that in a minute, in a pasture, you know, within 15 minutes of Winchester, low West Virginia taxes. That's not bad per acre. So we'll check out the fields next. Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty, doing my troll impersonation. I'm here under the bridge here along Route 50. Just wanted to show you what Mill Branch looks like. This is the stream that runs through the property for about 2,000 foot in this direction. It's a pretty deep hole here under the bridge. Like I said, it flows through the property for about 2,000 foot. So not sure, you know, if there's gonna be better paths for me to, you know, get into the stream on down on the property, but I wanted to do this here under the bridge because I know I can get here easy. Keenan Shanholtz here again, West Virginia Land and Home Realty on the 41 acres here along Route 50 in Capon Bridge. I wanted to take a video here in the first field, and we're going to talk about building on this property. So this is all in the floodplain here, so I'm going to show you the flood map. Let's start off by doing that. First off, I want to show you where we're at. You know, we're about right here, streams to our left here. But I'm going to show you the flood map here. We're going to talk about this. So basically, everything just below the barn all the way over to Smoky Hollow Road is in the flood zone. And you'll see here along the stream where the hash lines are a little bit different. That's like floodway, and then this is flood zone here where we're at here in this field. You could obviously build, you know, up here off a well-bottom trail, here in the woods and stuff. You know, you're not dealing with floodplain, anything like that. Now, to me, I'd want to build me a house back here in this field. I always thought, you know, lived in this area my whole life. You drive by here, you look from Route 50, see deer out in this field. Be a beautiful spot to have a home here. And you're back off the road some, so you don't get road noise and stuff like that. Just be a beautiful setting here to be back here in this field. Now, by my calculations, and I'm pretty slick at this after doing it for so many years, the way I'm figuring it, this area in here is about 3 foot below the base flood elevation. And you'd have to hire an engineer and do all that kind of stuff. I mean, a lot of times surveyors can do flood elevation certificates for you. It's not abnormally expensive or anything like that. But I think right in here, you're about 3 foot below the base flood elevation. I shot an elevation up there that was out of the flood zone, and I shot a couple in here. I think this is about 919 feet in here above sea level. And to be out of the flood zone, I think you got to be about 921, 922, okay? So in layman's terms, what that means is the top of your bottom floor has to be 1 foot above the base flood elevation to be out of the flood zone. So if you wanted to build a nice big home back here, you'd build it on about a 4 foot crawl space just to simplify it, and you should be out of the flood zone. Now, I'm not an engineer, nothing like that, but in layman's terms, the simplest way to explain it to you is like that. So it's not like you're 10 foot below the base flood elevation here or anything like that. It's somewhere about right around 3 foot. You know, so you build up on a crawl space, you put vents in the crawl space so the water can go through if it does happen to flood, which I've never seen water in this field before. But you get up a foot above the base flood elevation, you're good. So, but yeah, great home site back here. You'll see, and I got to get some more detail off the owner, but there's an automatic waterer right there for animals. But this field here is not fenced. Now the next field over, the one against Smoky Hollow here, I believe is fenced. And I believe there's waterers over there as well. But both the fields are just a hair shy of 8 acres. I measured them on the computer. So you got roughly 15.5 acres of pasture here on the property, which is nice. I mean, it's just versatile. I mean, you got field, stream, woods, you know, the whole bit. This place has everything. So, and you also note, like back here, I mean, there's electric up there at the building, but like if you wanted to build here, there's electric that cuts across the property back there in the back. So, anyways, my video cut out on me there. But I'll go over in this next field and we'll take a shot over there. Keenan Shanholz here again, West Virginia Land and Home Realty, over here on the 41 acres just outside of Capon Bridge. I'm over on the Smoky Hollow Road side right now, and as you can see, and this pasture doesn't look as big as the other pasture, but it is. I measured them, but you can see this side is fenced over here. So this pasture is fenced. You can see the gate right there is Route 50. This is Smoky Hollow Road right here. You'll see there's one of those waterers over here in this field as well. And then this field runs out through here about as far as you can see where it's mowed and everything. Smoky Hollow Road is really big right here because right up the road there and on the other side of this is like, you know, an industrial park with very little in it for Hampshire County. And you'll see there's a big building back here on the right hand side of Smoky Hollow Road. But so yeah, that's what it looks like from over here. That you see right there, that's like a sewage pump station there. It's like a pump station to pump sewage up over the mountain to the treatment plant in Capon Bridge. Guess there's an easement on here, you know, for that property, for that little part right there. Have to dig into that. I think I looked at that once before, but it's there, it's been there, it's not your way. Yeah, that's what this side looks like. It's fenced. So your pasture, half of it's fenced, half of it's basically just hayfield there over there on the other side. So if you want some cows or some horses, you stick them over here on this side. Keenan Shanholz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. Just wanted to clean something up here. Kind of figured this out as I've gone here. So I'm at the back of the pasture now, along Smoky Hollow Road's right here, Route 50's out there. This is your fenced property line back here, and you can see this field's much bigger here at the back. It's kind of skinny at the front and big in the back. But I had pointed out, like where that little pump station was notched out there along Route 50, and I'll find this, but so over here there's like another pump station, and there's an easement that goes through here. You'll see some manhole covers that comes from that little building there, you know, all the way through this field into that pump station out there along 50. But out across this field, you'll see these little manhole covers for the sewer. But this is no negative impact on the property. I mean, this property's in the flood zone over here. It's more or less just being used for what's best use right now, which would be pasture for animals. The easement here, you know, for the sewer line doesn't really affect anything. I don't know how wide the easement is, but you'll see some green manhole covers, you know, 3 or 4 of them between here and Route 50 where the next pump station is. But and there's no treatment or anything like that here. It doesn't smell like sewer or anything weird like that here, but just wanted to point that out. But as I'm standing here, this will be a good place to show you. I mean, the property's going to go all the way on top of the ridge up there where Bear Garden Trail is. And we'll go up there and check that out. But just to give you some perspective on the length, the overall length and girth of the property here, you know, it goes from here all the way to the top of that ridge. Keenan Shanholz here again, West Virginia Land and Home Realty on the 41 acres. Just wanted to show you here, so I'm on the road that's called Well Bottom Trail, which is the road, like when you turn in at the barn off of Route 50, this is the road that comes back through here. And so when you're coming down Well Bottom Trail, when you're coming into it like this, you know, once you're on Well Bottom Trail, everything, you know, the property's everything on the right. but it doesn't pick up on the left until you get right here. And I tied this ribbon here, and you'll see there's ATV path and stuff that goes in. This is where you access the property, ride ATVs or hunt. There's a path that goes up here in the woods. But this is the section to the left of Well Bottom Trail that runs up to Bear Garden Trail. So show you where we're at right here. We're right here at this spot. So, you know, this section in here, you know, up against the hillside here is probably, you know, maybe 7-8 acres, something like that, I would say. But Well Bottom Trail just goes back down here. You know, the property's on, you know, both sides of Well Bottom Trail here for a ways, and then the road just kind of dies down here at the neighbor's house. Keenan Channels here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. This is going to be my last video clip here on the 41 acres here outside of Capon Bridge. But so you see my truck sitting there. This is Bear Garden Trail right up here. And if you so choose and you want a really insane good view, this is going to be hard with the leaves on the trees, but there's a pretty ridiculous view from up here on this ridge. Looking kind of like to the southeast, but plenty of room. You want to build a house up here off of this road and have a good view and kind of get away from the road a little bit more. You can certainly build up here in this section. Once again, we got 2 tracts here. You know, maybe down the road you want to sell one of the tracts, or you know, you might have a family member that wants to build. You know, you got a good building site up here on the ridge. You're going to have a killer view. And the taper from here down to Well Bottom Trail is not that bad, but this is kind of going to be like one of your hunting sections of the property if you want to do that with it. It's pretty nice. I mean, like I said, this property has everything. If you want something with an insanely good view, that's going to be this part up here. You need the fields because you have animals, or you want to make hay, you want to garden, want to plant crops. You got that down there. You got water with Mill Branch running through the property. Location. You're less than a mile. I mean, you're a half mile from Capon Bridge. You're less than 20 minutes, easily less than 20 minutes from Winchester, Virginia, you know. And now in Winchester, there's a bunch of stuff on the west side of Winchester. So you could be at Walmart, you know, in less than 20 minutes from the property. You're about 2 miles from the Virginia line right here. But when you get across this side into West Virginia, it's a whole lot cheaper. The taxes are less. Just the cost of living goes down dramatically once you cross that state line. Come check this one out. I know this was a lot. This video, you know, it's a pretty long one. But this property's got a lot going on, a lot of cool features, and a lot of stuff that needed explaining. So give me a call, make the appointment, come check this place out. It's a good one.